Good morning. I hope my voice is okay. I've been not feeling well these last few days. Um, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you what we are currently doing at the University of the Free State. Um, when when we when I joined them in 2015, one of the mandate that was given to me was to drive the open access of the university. The library has been given that mandate by the university. This presentation has been compiled by my colleague, Cornel Sketema van Wyk, who happens to be the Deputy Director responsible for Digital Scholarship Center, and myself. We are going to share what we are currently doing, because one of the most important things, actually difficulty that we got as librarians, is acceptance by faculty that we can contribute. There is resistance, and also there is contestation, because what happens is that people feel it's their space. People don't want people in their space. So just briefly, Digital Scholarship Center was established some 3 years ago, when Professor Peterson was appointed at the university as yes, okay. When Professor Peterson was appointed, he wanted to establish an e-research. So what he did, he went immediately and said, ICT, please come on board. And they did the benchmarking, and they went out, they look at what needs to be done. And 6 months later, they came back and then decided to have a stakeholder engagement. They brought in the library, they brought in DRT. It's a research development at university, it's called DRT. And the three of us sat down, and it was clear from the ICT side that it's not their competence. They won't be able to do it. And then subsequent to that, we are given that mandate as a library to look at an e-research. That is the team that was then brought together. And obviously, our then director, Betsy Esther, then we had from DRT, a director for innovation at DRT is now at UJ. And then the director for high performance computing, Albert, and Cornell is who was then appointed as an acting for the pilot, and then myself, which the unit was given them, I was responsible for that mandate. So we went around and looked at, we did some benchmarking to look. If I can tell you what then we discovered is that when we look at this, we are not going, if we start concentrating only on e-research, we are not building capacity, because research at our university, most of the time starts at the last year of undergraduate. So that's why we opted to go the route of Digital Scholarship Center, so that we build it right from undergraduate going up. So this is the center, this is how it looks like for now. We hope to go to a bigger level as the library is going renovations. What we are doing there, we allow researchers to come in. It's a safe space for researchers to come and engage. Also to collaborate. They can collaborate with their overseas partners. They can come as a group, work on the group. For instance, we've got a medical women in medicine who come every Saturday to discuss, to do their workshops on the papers that they're writing, and is headed by our deputy dean in medicine, Professor Joyce Tsuka. We've got almost, I would say, 3x2 a big virtualization screen. So if you want to virtualize your results, you can come into the center and project. It's one of the state of the art that you've got in that unit. And then we now brief. Then we've got, it's what we fortunately we're one of the few universities that have a high performance computing. Most of the people rely on the national grid for high performance computing. So we are very fortunate. Although some also have a consortia where they work as a consortia. When we started with this project, when we started DSC, HPC was about to be closed, to be decommissioned. It was too expensive. That's what the university was saying. So when we started doing the benchmarking, we then argued quite strongly that we shouldn't. This is a trend. Big data is a big issue now, and we then did some analysis. What Albert did when we went to make a presentation to the rectorate was to show how they were able to reduce data processing from 6 months down to about 48 hours to process data because of high performance computing. So using your own small laptop, even a supercomputer wouldn't be able to process data that fast. So it was clear, and we were able to convince the university management to keep this unit running, and that's where we'll be doing. And then 2 years ago, so when we started this process, yeah, I'd like to move. When we started this process, there was another parallel session that the VC was starting around interdisciplinary research. It was headed by Professor Peter Becker as a Pro-Vice Chancellor. Ultimately, 2 years ago, 2021, it led to the establishment of what we call Interdisciplinary Center for Digital Futures. So this unit is actually responsible for a number of things around using technology in research and also promote interdisciplinary research. And some of the projects that they are currently doing, you can see them there on the top slide. It's not only limited to it's not only limited to those, but those are the main ones that they're currently working on. So this currently what we are working on also with the promulgation of the POPI Act, what has happened is that the university is now looking at the ethics governance, and this unit has been given that mandate to coordinate and spearhead that process. So that gives us the library then an opportunity. You know, when there's a risk that appears around that, it created an opportunity for the library. We then came in and said, look, let's include data management plan in the approval on the ethics approval, so that for any request, if it comes through, it must have a data management plan. So that's how, as a library, we are able to push ourselves in where we were not wanted, because it didn't start now. When the university decided to say, library, we give you the responsibility to spearhead the process of research data management, there was a huge resistance from the faculty. And when we show them that this is going to add value, still people didn't believe or didn't want to, because probably they see it as additional. But now this created an opportunity for us. With this ICDF, we are coming in, we are saying, as part of the process, they need to have registered data management plans in place before. So some of this, it created those benefits. Right. So all in all, these are the opportunity, but these are not only the only departments that have made it sure for us that we are able to collaborate and be able to engage with the faculty. We are also working together with, for instance, the current projects that we are working with currently with ICDF. We are there's a project that they're busy with. They're trying to digitize a Limpopo collection that they're using for, and we're looking also at the data in the healthcare, and there's a Limpopo heritage collection that we're looking at, and they are responsible. They are given a mandate of introducing 4IR in the university. So as a library, we're involved in the as part of this AI sandbox. We participate, we engage, we advise academics, we make our input in the library. So now all of a sudden the playing field has been leveled, not because of our initiatives, but because we have given an opportunity by collaborating. So collaborating with different departments simply open up a window for colleagues in the library. We were fortunate that we managed to. The university has got a digitalization strategy. With that strategy, we did put forward requests for funding to digitize collection for access. Some of the collection that we've got is quite unique. You can only find it in at UFS, nowhere else. So to improve access and to preserve some of this collection, we were then allocated funds to procure state of the art digitization tool, which is the one that we're also assisting ICDF to digitize even artifacts from Limpopo that they're doing. These are 4-star rating, 5G 4-star rating hardware. We've got a DT Atom, and this very soon this month or beginning June we'll be getting another one, which is DT Element. These are high-tech digitization tools that we then use them to get into faculty, to say to them, this is what we've got, this how can we collaborate. And beyond that, we then start new discussions. And all of this we done to promote open access. All the collection that we are currently digitizing, it will be available for all researchers throughout. We know that currently NRF has funded a project where they're trying to get all historical archives to be available in a particular platform. So we will be contributing towards that. With those few words, I'd like to say thank you.